What's up, guys? Chiefs Chat, episode 19, and in this episode, it's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody celebrating Thanksgiving, and I just want to talk to you guys about what Thanksgiving truly means. And I think it's a holiday that everybody can pretty much wrap their heads around. It's, just giving thanks for everything that's, going on in our lives, and really just not taking anything for granted. Family, friends, and being able to eat food every day and have a roof over our heads is something that we should never take for granted and really be thankful for, especially on this day, and really thinking about those things. And especially this year with everything that's going on in our country, social injustice and, the coronavirus, some tough things going on in this country today. But, today it's just a very, important day to really, look past those things and just try to focus on what we should be happy about, what we should be grateful for. And that's something that's truly important to me. And that's what I'm going to talk about in today's episode. Because, as a guy who has a roof over his head, is able to eat food every day, I'm also benefited by the fact that I am a Chiefs fan. All right, I'm a Chiefs fan. And obviously, being a Chiefs fan, I have a lot of things to be thankful for. Because not only did we just win the Super Bowl last year, we are poised to do it again this year, and we are poised to become a dynasty. And the two main reasons for that being is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Now, these are the two things I want to talk about in today's episode, and what I think is important about Thanksgiving is not only acknowledging what you're thankful for, but going in depth as to why you are truly thankful for that specific thing. So I'm going to kind of give you guys an example of that today. So I'm going to talk about Andy Reid, I'm going to talk about Patrick Mahomes, and I'm really going to go in depth as to why I am thankful that they are a part of this franchise. So first off, we got Pat. All right. Now let me put you guys in the shoes of Patrick Mahomes. It's 2017, draft night. Okay, big night, obviously. And the Chiefs have just traded up to the 10th overall pick. I mean, you're sitting there, you're a young quarterback out of Texas Tech, and you are highly anticipating, joining a team and rebuilding a franchise and being the centerpiece of a football team. Every kid dreams about being an NFL quarterback and getting to that point in their career where they are the centerpiece of a franchise that is rebuilding, and getting to a point where you can eventually win a championship. But Patrick Mahomes was stripped of that dream when the Chiefs selected him with the 10th overall pick. Because when you look at that Chiefs team back in 2017, Alex Smith, all right, a fantastic quarterback coming off a career year, a veteran quarterback, a guy that we all can agree is a very respectable quarterback, someone that we can definitely trust. And Patrick Mahomes, he's a risk taker. He's a big gunslinging quarterback out of Texas Tech, and he wants to, make an impact immediately. He wants to join a team and start because he knows for a fact that he has the talent to do that. The Chiefs knew he had the talent to do that. The Chiefs knew that he had the talent to do that. But, we wanted to really keep him for a year and just, kind of be mentored by Alex Smith. And, unfortunately for, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, that couldn't have felt great. I mean, you put yourself in his shoes, all right? Just think about being Patrick Mahomes in this situation. You want to be a quarterback. You want to be a starting quarterback for an NFL team. That's obviously your dream. And, just being passed up by 9 other teams, obviously the Bears made a horrible decision in drafting Mitchell Trubisky, so that couldn't have been good, And, Mitchell Trubisky, he did have a big impact in his rookie season with the Bears. And, Patrick Mahomes, he could have done that exact same thing with the Bears. He could have had an impact. He could have been the centerfold. He could have been the centerpiece of that Bears team. But, he fell to the 10th overall pick, got picked up by the Chiefs, who knew he had talent, who knew he was going to be a franchise quarterback eventually. But they knew for a fact that this kid wanted to go into this team and, play immediately. Now, I even said this back then in 2017, all right? I was even thinking this, this exact same thought. I was thinking, what? If I'm Patrick Mahomes in this situation, why am I here? Why am I on this Chiefs team? Because they already have a good quarterback, they already have a great team, and they're already, making the playoffs every year. What's the point? Why am I here? Like what's the point of me even being here? And I'm sure, I can almost guarantee you that Patrick Mahomes had those same feelings. I mean, he had those same thoughts. I mean, he was like, what's going on, man? I want to start. I'm talented enough to start. And I'm talented enough to be a solid quarterback in the NFL right now. And he knew that for a fact. The Chiefs knew it, but he definitely knew it. And he felt like he was getting cheated out of a starting position. He had to sit behind Alex Smith for an entire year. But here's the thing about Alex Smith, all right? And here's the thing about Patrick Mahomes. He just fought through it. He was mentored by Alex Smith, a 15-year vet. He was a 13-year vet at the time, but being mentored by Alex Smith, one of the most respectable quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, is something that, you can't undervalue that. I mean, you can't look over the fact that truly helped his career. I mean, you really can't. Patrick Mahomes, he sat down that entire rookie season. He got to start in Week 17 versus Denver, when that game really didn't matter. And he put on a show. You could tell this guy's special. I mean, he was just throwing the football every which way. He was doing crazy things that, I can't even imagine Alex Smith being able to do, first of all. And just being that young gunslinging quarterback from Texas Tech that he truly was. And, he just kind of had to sit there. He just kind of had to sit on the bench and just kind of learn as much about this football team as he possibly could. He played his role perfectly. He couldn't have played it any better. He did such a great job with, just being that backup quarterback and really waiting his turn. Because once 2018 rolled around, he was off and running. MVP season like that. The second Alex Smith was out of here, Patrick Mahomes took over and he dominated. And that's something we gotta respect. We gotta respect about Patrick Mahomes, his ability to sit there and take one for the team. He's always been able to do it, but I think that's the most extreme case of being able to sit there and take one for the team and truly do what's right for this franchise. I love you, Patrick Mahomes. I can't say that enough. I love you for being able to take one for the team and really help this football team. Because, if you, I know you wanted to get your hands dirty. I know you wanted to be that quarterback right off rip. But, we gave you a year to really learn this offense, and that's what made you so dominant. And Patrick Mahomes, he didn't even know how to read an NFL defense until his third year as a pro. Imagine what he would have done as a rookie. He was a crazy, his talent is just off the charts. But, obviously we see him now and he's only got 2 interceptions through 11 weeks of play. That's absolutely unheard of. And it's something that I don't think he would have been able to do without the help of Alex Smith. And I respect Patrick Mahomes so much for just being an understanding guy and really just being able to, learn from learn from Alex Smith and really work his way into the system. And look at him now. He just signed a 10-year contract extension with the Chiefs. That's loyalty. All right, that is loyalty. Because Patrick Mahomes knows for a fact that he can go anywhere. He can do whatever he wants at this point. He can get however much money he wants. He can get however much money he wants for whatever team he wants to play for. If he grows up and he's a Cowboys fan and he, is now at a point where he has a Super Bowl championship with, has a Super Bowl championship with the Chiefs, you don't have to sign that contract extension. You can just go to Dallas. They'll take you. They'll welcome you with open arms, even though they got Dak Prescott. They will say, hey, Patrick Mahomes, I love you. I want you to be my quarterback, because Patrick Mahomes is an undoubtedly, he has undeniable talent. Any team would take them, any team would take Patrick Mahomes over their starting quarterback right now. Seattle would, Green Bay would, Arizona would, any team with a solid starting quarterback right now, they would take Patrick Mahomes in a heartbeat, And I'm just super grateful that Patrick Mahomes was so dedicated to this team, so dedicated to the city, just to be able to ride it out and really, just commit to this football team. And once again, that's just something you have to respect about Patrick Mahomes. But anyway, that brings me to my second point that I want to make about this Chiefs football team, because there's a man by the name of Andy Reid. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's a great head coach, but Andy Reid. All right, let me tell you a little bit about Andy Reid. So, back before he was a head coach for the Chiefs, he was a longtime head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. And he put together some great teams. All right, you had Donovan McNabb, you had Michael Vick for a little bit, and he really put together some great NFL teams. But what ended up happening is, these teams, they would make the playoffs year after year after year, and every single year, they even got to the Super Bowl once, they would just get heartbroken. They would just lose. And, Andy Reid was that, he was that head coach through the entire process. And the more he made the playoffs and the more he lost in the playoffs, the more he built a reputation of being a guy that chokes in the playoffs. And that's obviously not something you want on your resume as a head coach. You think about that. You just think about that alone. It had to have been tough for Andy Reid. But, now rewind back to 2012, when he had already been coaching for the Eagles for, quite a while. The Eagles decided, we're going to move on from Andy Reid. And they cut him. Andy Reid is no longer the head coach for the Eagles. And keep in mind, Andy Reid, he's an old guy. He's older. He had to have been around 60 when he was cut by the Eagles. But guess what he did, all right? You look at the Chiefs during that same exact season, that same exact 2012 season, Matt Castle, Brady Quinn, Jamal Charles, and we were absolutely awful. I mean, guess how many wins we had? We had 2 wins. We were clearly in need of a rebuild, all right? And Andy Reid was our guy. We went after Andy Reid with everything we got. Because Andy Reid, you look at him, I mean, you think about his backstory, you think about everything he had to go through, to even become a respectable head coach and then just, build a reputation for being a guy who chokes in the playoffs. That can't be easy. That can't be tough to have on your conscience. And if I was Andy Reid in that situation, you could easily retire and have plenty of money to just be able to do whatever you want and just live out the rest of your life and just be happy. Excuse me, just be happy, just have a great life. But Andy Reid said, you know what? I am 60 years old and I don't even care. I am joining this football team and I'm going to rebuild this 2-14 team. Okay, we were 2-14. And Andy Reid accepted the challenge of trying to rebuild this team and change us into a championship team. And really, change the culture of this team as a whole. And that's what he did. I mean, look at what he did. I mean, look at the job that he did. The second he became our head coach, he brought in Alex Smith, and we went 11-5 the next season with Andy Reid as our head coach. I mean, you think about what Patrick Mahomes had to go through, sitting on the bench for an entire year. And then you think about what Andy Reid had to go through, years and years and years of playoff disappointment, heartbreak in the playoffs, in the postseason. To accept the challenge to rebuild a 2-14, a 2-14 team that was clearly in need of a rebuild, that's not an easy task, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people would do. But Andy Reid, he's just got such a big heart. I mean, I love the guy. Big Red. I mean, he is incredible. I can't say enough about Andy Reid and just the impact he's made on this Chiefs team. But anyway, guys, with that being said, I talked about Patrick Mahomes, I talked about Andy Reid, and I really wanted to give you guys an in-depth look at, why we should truly be thankful for these guys, and, why we should, look at this with pretty much every aspect of what we think about on Thanksgiving. Because, you can think about your dad and really think about, why you're thankful for, your dad. You think about the sacrifices he made for you. You think about everything he's done for you in his life, and I think that's a super important aspect of, being thankful for somebody, just being able to think about it and just being able to go in depth about, truly why they're such an important part of your life. And, I encourage all of you to do that. I encourage all of you to reach out to a loved one, reach out to somebody who you truly care about, and just let them know you're thankful for them. I mean, it means the world. It really does. And, to all of you watching right now, I just want to say something because, I do Chiefs chat. I make these stupid Chiefs chat videos because, I just love doing it. I love sitting in front of a camera and, sharing my thoughts to the world and, to anybody who is willing to listen, just anybody at all. And I just do it because I absolutely love it. And, I don't care about views. I don't care about subscribers. I don't care about any of that stuff. Obviously, it's nice, but, what I truly care about is, the people that, are willing to sit down and listen to me talk about Chiefs, because it's just kind of stupid when you think about it. It's just kind of a stupid thing that I like to do, but it's something that I really want to make a career out of, and it's something I'm truly passionate about. And I just want to thank, each and every one of you that, made it this far into the video, and I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot, and I'm very thankful, to have you, listen to me be stupid for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, however long it may be. But, I just want to, I just wanted to say that. And, I'm just glad that, I am a fan of such an incredible football team, because it, this whole thing wouldn't even be as fun. Imagine being a fan of the Browns or something like that. Like, oh, we lost another game. Baker Mayfield is not, just stuff like that. But we have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, so that's all I got to say. I mean, that's all I got to say when it comes to that. I mean, because this Chiefs team could not be any better. I mean, that's just a fact. But that's all I got, guys. That's all I got for this Thanksgiving special episode. All right. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you a lot. And I will see you in the next Chiefs chat when I preview our game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a big one, guys. So stay tuned for that. Peace out. I'll see you later.